Get your ass up there and contain the damn ball. This is why we do it. Hey, too many missed tackles. Let's go.
Have you ever been yelled at by Coach Zim?
Oh, yeah, I got yelled at him today, actually, during practice.
Yeah, about 25 minutes ago.
Of course, all the time.
I like Zimmer's kind of gusto with, and
He's got that no fuck around.
no fuck around attitude. I like that, and for me that works. It could be bad, or it could just be that they needed that the entire time, and you know it'll work itself out, and this will be good. I know that style of coaching is kind of not necessarily part of new school. It's a little bit of old school, right?
It is.
And I like that old school. I think there's a place for it, but you obviously have to always, make sure that you're not going to ruin relationships with players.
You got to find that line, and
yeah.
you need to know which player you can give the tough love and which player you can't. But I do like the polarizing aspect of what Dan Quinn is and Mike Zimmer is. They're on opposite.
Exactly.
They're on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Let's not bring in a guy who is Dan Quinn light.
Like Ron, well, and that's the whole Ron Rivera thing. I don't know what he's like sentiment-wise or his personality-wise, but for the Washington Commanders to let him go and then the Washington Commanders to hire Dan Quinn for us to just pick up Ron Rivera, that just seems so stupid to me. Like, I just don't want that at all. I honestly, any other coaching hire other than Ron Rivera, I'm okay with. I honestly am.
Yeah, and if you're doing football math on that, it's like they took our DC and made him the head coach, and we're going to take their head coach and make him our DC.
Yeah.
So it's like one's moving downward trajectory. Now, in fairness, I have no problem with taking a head coach and who was fired and then bringing him back. That's exactly what happened to Dan Quinn, right?
Yes.
Who's a head coach. He needed to reset. He did so. All in all, I think the sentiment from Cowboys Nation about Dan Quinn is that, look, we love what he did. There was a lot of exciting moments. He did some things very, very good. But after 3 years, people just knew too well how to pick his defense apart.
How to beat him.
Yeah.
He didn't adapt well. He did like a man cover base shell, and then for whatever reason in the wild card game, he decided to go completely. He actually tried to get creative, but he did it in the weirdest, wonkiest way by just completely going against the strengths that have worked for the team. And I've talked about this and I've read some stuff about it, and Deffy was saying it, but it's like the defense disappeared in a lot of games where we played good teams. It wasn't necessarily Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott and the offense that disappeared. It was the defense never got that big stop, 22 points. But at the points of the game where they needed the stop or had the stop and then had stupid penalties, and this was my biggest problem with the defense, they kept committing the same stupid penalties over and over and over. And I just want accountability when a player that has had pass interferences or roughing the passers or offsides, fucking bench the guy for a quarter. Tell him, okay, man, like, I don't know how else to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want someone in that the kind of where the Mike Zimmer's wheelhouse is. I want someone that's going to give a little bit of tough love.
Me too. And like I said, I think it can be done in a healthy way. Tough love works when you have respect, right? Because you don't it's not necessarily about personally attacking a person. It's about attacking their game. And if you have that respect, that personal respect with someone, and you understand the position that people are in, you can take a lot more from someone when you respect them.
Yeah,
right?
you'll be like, yeah, okay. He's spitting truth.
It still might like
Sting.
irk you and sting, and you might get in a fuck you match, but like it's not going to ruin the relationship.
And you're going to come out better.
You will.
You're going to be like, okay, yeah, you might have got into it a little bit, but then you're like, okay, he had some points.
Yeah, and look, it's not. Part of it too is it's like there is the story of the player on the field who's seeing this thing in real time, and like it might be very obvious to the coach or to the booth because or to us as fans watching on the screen, but the player is also like, yeah, but the last 3 times he did X and then he did Y, so I just
He did ecstasy.
He did ecstasy.
He's so high on X.
What is this, euphoria? Right? But so there is that thing, like the player might see something and be like, I was anticipating this, but okay, I see what you're doing, but you still broke protocol. And protocol is you don't make those types of moves, right? Like in every defense's package and every defense theory or offensive theory, everything's perfect. if you do this, then this player
have to
will
adapt.
Then this player will be open.
Yep.
But that's just not always how it actually unfolds on the field. So there is a lot of that like reaction that we want players to do. And to just add on to that, is how many times have we seen in like a lot of NFL films, it happens a lot where the coach is like, "What are you doing?" And then the guy makes a pick.
Yeah, makes a play. Go kneel. Like Ed Reed intercepts the ball 8 yards deep, and the coach is saying, "Go down, go down,"
Yeah.
and then 2 seconds later, run.
So like there are moments where it's like that would the more probable thing was for you to just kneel, but
But you scored a
you
touchdown.
still scored a touchdown, so no one's gonna complain. So like that shit happens, and you do want players to have that in them. So it is a give and take, and who knows, man? Like you mentioned though, Ant, I don't want to just bring in a DQ2 or a DQ light. Give us something different because that's gonna really let us test this defense. Essentially we got the same main elements.
Challenge someone.
Let's do
Get
some
someone in there, and that's going to challenge. And the issue, there's a lot of this right now in the NFL, young versus old versus young, old school versus new school. You're seeing a lot of success with the younger coaches. So there's a lot of guys that don't necessarily want us to just get another old figure. And a lot of the guys that are in contention right now for the defensive coordinator position are older guys.
Toss me one.
Yep.
Here's the thing though, is like I do think, hey,
Look at that. Out of the sleeve.
Out of the sleeve?
I was keeping it cold for you. Let's get a double crack 'em. Why the fuck not? Let's do it. Crack 'em if you got 'em, baby.
The only thing that's-
Wednesday night crack 'ems hit different.
it does. They always do. They always do. The only thing that and Adam's gone, so he's not gonna be messaging me, which I love.
Let's just dump drinks all over all his shit right now.
fucking
Let's
goes
just
up in
road
flames.
mixer, whatever this thing is. You done?
Hey, for the clicks, for the views.
We're doing it for the views.